The galaxy had always whispered the same rumor about humanity. They were dangerous only when pushed. For decades, the United Stellar Council believed that rumor was exaggerated, an old myth born from humanity's early wars. They learned the truth too late. It began on Siren for a peaceful human terraforming world home to 60,000 settlers, scientists, and their families. Positioned on the outer edge of Council territory, Siren was considered low priority for defense. After all, humans were allies of the Council. Who would dare attack them? The answer arrived in the form of an armada. The Vangroth Dominion, a militaristic species known for enslaving weaker civilizations, made their move at dawn. Their ships ripped through the sky like black knives. They jammed communications, cut off evacuation routes, and opened fire on the colony's power cores. The first explosion lit up the clouds like a second sun. In orbit, the colonists aboard the station Horizon Reef sent a single emergency transmission before the signal was drowned in static. We are under attack, thousands dead, Vangroth warships everywhere. Any human fleet, please respond. Then silence. Across the Milky Way, in the heart of the Terran Directorate, that message was received by exactly one person who mattered, Commander Arion Vale, director of the classified project known only as Helios Protocol. He listened without blinking, jaw tight, expression unreadable. When the message ended, he didn't sigh, didn't curse, didn't shout. He simply said two words. It's begun. Behind him, an entire chamber of scientists, strategists, and artificial intelligence cores turned toward him. The enormous room, hidden deep beneath Earth's surface, hummed with energy. Golden light pulsed through conduits embedded in the walls, as if the facility itself were breathing. At the center of the chamber floated a star, not a diagram, not a hologram, a real, artificially stabilized microstar suspended within a containment field, a burning, swirling sphere of plasma and gravitational fury. Humanity had created it in secret. Humanity had created many of them. The galaxy had no idea that humans had been building the Helios Arcs, enormous battleships powered by chained miniature stars, capable of bending physics in ways every alien species thought impossible. The Helios Protocol existed for one purpose. If humanity were ever attacked without provocation, they would answer as a supernova. Arion turned to his second-in-command, Admiral Renishera. Siren, it was only the beginning, he said. The Vangroth want to test human limits. And what do we do when someone tests our limits? Ren asked. Arion's eyes hardened. We show them where they end. He placed his hand on the command console, and biometric locks opened around the chamber. One by one, massive armored doors withdrew, revealing a launch tunnel that extended miles underground. Far above, hidden behind clouds and false terrain, a massive platform began to separate, revealing the silhouette of a beast. The Helios Arc-class warship Astrius, a ship longer than cities, powered by an artificial star pulsing behind reinforced quantum shielding. The moment the launch clamps released, the lights dimmed across half of Earth's eastern grid. She's ready, Ren said. Arion nodded once. No survivors on Siren 4? None confirmed. Arion closed his eyes. For a moment, pain flickered across his face, then vanished behind steel. Then we move, he said. Prepare the Ark, ready the Soul Spear, and notify every human fleet commander. Message. Ren asked. Arion's voice echoed through the chamber, cold and final. Humanity is no longer holding back. Across the galaxy, in the scorched remains of Siren 4, the Vangroth Supreme Marshal stood on a hill of burning rubble. He surveyed the destruction with satisfaction. These animals fold easily, he growled. Their allies will abandon them. Their worlds will fall. Humans are predictable. Beside him, a nervous officer approached. Marshal, we intercepted something before their channels died. He handed over a datapad. The Marshal read it. His mandibles clicked. A rare sensation, unease, tightened in his chest. The message wasn't a distress call. It wasn't a plea. It was a warning. To the Vangroth Dominion. You have chosen extinction. Terran Directorate. The Marshal snarled, crushing the datapad. Let them come, he spat. Let humans try. But above him, in the dark of space, something stirred. A vibration, a distortion, a burning light unlike any star. Humanity had already arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. The moment the Helios Ark-class warship Astrias broke free from its underground cradle, the skies above Earth rippled like fabric. Clouds parted in concentric rings as ion thrusters ignited, sending a shockwave that could be felt from orbit. Civilians looked up from city streets, unaware that humanity's most powerful weapon had just awakened beneath their feet. Deep inside the ship's command core, Commander Arion Vale stood on the transparent floor of the central bridge. Beneath his boots, the blazing artificial star, the heart of Astrias, spun like a chained sun, its light diffused by quantum shielding. It was beautiful, terrifying, and alive. Engineers often joke to behave like a dragon, peaceful when respected, apocalyptic when unleashed. Ren Ishera entered, her footsteps echoing. All systems responding, she reported. Arc reactor stable. Quantum sails unfolding. Spinal rails charged. Arion nodded. Engage slip drive. The lights dimmed. The ship hummed. Then space door open. The slip corridor, a prismatic tunnel of compressed space-time, appeared before them, stretching toward the distant star where Siren for once thrived. The Astrias surged forward, plunging into the corridor like a spear of fire. Inside the shimmering passage, Arion addressed the crew. You all saw the transmission. You know why we're moving. The Vanguard Dominion believes humanity will bow. His expression hardened. We will show them they have miscalculated. A chorus of determined voices responded. When the Astrias emerged from the corridor, it appeared above the charred ruins of Siren 4. The planet was unrecognizable. Smoke, shattered continents, glowing craters. Entire oceans boiled. The atmosphere was filled with drifting debris that had once been cities. Rin covered her mouth. Monsters. Arion's stare remained cold. Scanned for survivors. Silence. Seconds passed. Minutes. Finally, the AI spoke. No life signs detected. A faint tremor shook Arion's hand. Then he steadied himself. Lock coordinates of the destruction. This will be the first entry in our war record. The tactical officer turned from his station. Commander, Vanguard forces are still in system. They haven't left. Arion almost smiled. Good. They think they have time. Across the system, aboard the Vanguard flagship Gorkanath, Supreme Marshal Drovok reclined on his throne-like command seat. Our victory is absolute, he boasted. Humanity will hide in fear. A sensor operator's crest stiffened. Marshal, something massive just entered the system. Drovok frowned. Show me. The view screen flickered. A colossal silhouette drifted to the veil of smoke and dust. Black, angular, a leviathan forge of obsidian alloys. The Astrias. The bridge fell silent. Identify that ship, Drovok demanded. We cannot, the officer stuttered. Its core signature is unlike anything recorded. The Astrias engines flared. An energy spike built at its center, at the artificial star. Then the ship spoke. Every Vanguard channel, every frequency, every wavelength. This is the Terran Directorate. You have 1 minute to surrender. Drovok snarled. Fire everything. Thousands of Vanguard ships launched missiles, plasma bolts, and rail bursts. The sky lit with fire. The attacks hit the Astrias and bent around it. The star heart had activated its gravitational veil, curving space-time like a shield. Weapons dissolved into harmless arcs of energy. A whisper passed through the Vanguard bridge crew. They're gods! Drovok roared in panic. Return fire. The Astrias front panels opened. A blade of white-hot plasma extended forward, forming a shimmering spear of sunlight. Arion's voice echoed. So spear fire. A beam erupted. It didn't explode. It erased. Entire cruisers dissolved like sand in a supernova wind. The Vanguard fleet evaporated, ship after ship, swallowed by the spear of condensed stellar fury. When the light faded, half the armada was missing. The silence that followed was worse than the attack itself. Arion exhaled slowly. This is only the beginning, he murmured. Rin looked at him. What now? Arion's eyes reflected the burning wreckage. Now, every human fleet mobilizes. We carry the message to the heart of the Dominion. He turned. Today, humanity fights as one. News of the siren for massacre and the Astria's retaliation spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Alien governments panicked. Merchant guilds halted routes that passed anywhere near human space. Every world had a different theory. Some fear humans would declare war on everyone. Others believe humanity had gone rogue. But the truth was far more political. The United Stellar Council, the galaxy's governing body, called an emergency session in their colossal hall on Alinda Prime. Representatives from 43 species gathered, whispering anxiously. Human Ambassador Lara Voss stood alone at her podium, arms crossed. The council president, a crystalline being of shifting light, addressed her. Ambassador Voss, humanity's actions have destabilized regional peace. You deployed an unregistered superweapon. Lara almost laughed. You're talking about peace? A member of this council slaughtered our colony. And you did nothing. Murmurs rose. The Vangroth representative clicked his mandibles. Siren, for it was a military outpost in contested territory. We acted within our rights. Ilara's eyes glowed with fury. It was a civilian science world. You butchered families. Human propaganda. The Vangroth sneered. Another council member, a tall Avrian with feathered frills, raised a wing. Are humans prepared to de-escalate? Will you stand down? Ilara stared at him as though he were insane. Stand down? After genocide? The council chambers dimmed as the president spoke. You must. If humanity continues its aggression, we will impose sanctions and declare your species a disruptive force. Ilara froze. You're siding with the Vangroth. No, the president said. We are preventing escalation. Ilara stepped forward. Then hear me clearly. Humanity will never bow to a council that shelters murderers. If you declare us an enemy, the council guard stepped forward, energy spears igniting. We will walk our own path. Silence radiated through the chamber. The council president exhaled. Then humanity is hereby suspended. Your fleets are banned from traveling through council space. Ilara didn't blink. Then pray we never come back. She walked out without another word. When she exited the chambers, a secure message flashed across her datapad. Ilara, this is Arion. The war has begun. Return home. She whispered to herself. Good. Let the galaxies see what you've awakened. Meanwhile, aboard the Astrias, Arion received a strategic update. 8 human fleets, Titan, Orion, Centauri, Artemis, Sol, Nova, Horizon, and Helios, had mobilized. Humanity had never assembled so many fleets at once. Rin approached. We're receiving reports that the Vangroth are calling for reinforcements from their core worlds. Arion's expression remained unreadable. Good. Let them gather. Saves us the trouble of hunting them. He turned to the crew. Our next target, the Vangroth forward citadel on Kargat Prime, the heart of their war machine. The crew nodded, but before they could enter slip space, a burst of encrypted transmission reached them. Ren frowned. It's coming from inside council space. Arion raised an eyebrow. Who? The screen flickered. Ilara Voss appeared. Arion, the council has betrayed us. They've declared humanity the aggressor. Arion sighed. I expected as much. Ilara leaned forward. I'm coming home. But listen, something's wrong. The Vangroth aren't acting alone. They had support. Arion's eyes sharpened. Explain. Ilara whispered. The attack on Siren was coordinated with someone inside the council. The bridge froze. Arion stepped closer to the screen. Who? Ilara shook her head. Not yet, but I'll find out. The transmission ended. Ren's voice trembled. Commander, if the council and Vangroth are aligned. Arion finished her sentence. Then this isn't a war of revenge. His eyes turned to the burning planet below. It's a war for humanity's survival. The Vangroth War citadel on Kargat Prime was a nightmare of steel and volcanic ash. Massive fortress spikes protruded from the crust like the bones of a dead titan. Rivers of molten rock flowed between them. This was the Vangrotha's industrial heart, where warships were forged, soldiers trained, and slaves processed. And humanity was about to burn it down. The Astrius exited slip space at the edge of the system. In formation behind it, 8 Terran fleets emerged like storm clouds. Thousands of human ships, frigates, destroyers, dreadnoughts, spread out in a vast V-shaped pattern. Ren whispered, "Beautiful." Arion stood tall. "Tactical, open a channel." The message broadcast across the system. Vangroth Dominion. This is the Terran Directorate. Karga Prime has been found guilty of war crimes. Evacuate civilians. Soldiers who remain will face judgment. Inside the Vangroth Citadel, alarms blared. Supreme Marshal Drovok received the transmission at his war table. "They dare threaten our core world?" he snarled. "Prepare every ship, every gun, every soldier." His generals hesitated. "Marshal, our forces are still regrouping. We lost almost half the fleet." Drovok's eyes burned. "We are the Dominion. We will crush them." The battle began with a scream of engines. The Astrius plunged forward, leading the assault. Human warships followed in a sweeping arc, firing rail batteries and kinetic spikes. The Vangroth fleet met them head-on. Thousands of ships collided in a storm of fire. Plasma bolts tore through space, leaving glowing trails. Rail slugs shattered shields. Massive carriers released swarms of drones that clashed like metallic locusts. Explosions dotted the sky like dying stars. On the Astrius, Ren called out, "Shields at 97%. Arion nodded. "Prepare Soul Spear." The artificial star pulsed like a heartbeat. The front panels opened. White plasma gathered. Firing in 3, 2, the spear erupted. A beam of stellar fury lanced across the battlefield, ripping a hole straight through the Vangroth defensive line. Ships melted in seconds. The superheated shockwave shattered dozens more. Ren stared in awe. "Commander!" That was thousands of ships. Arion didn't answer. He was watching the Citadel. The Vangroth Citadel activated planetary cannons. Massive tectonic cannons drilled into the crust. They rotated, locked on, and fired molten plasma both the size of skyscrapers. Arion raised a hand. Gravitational veil. Full power. The artificial star brightened. The bolts bent, then curved, then whipped backward, slamming into the Citadel itself. The fortress walls cracked. Flames erupted from multiple points. Ren gasped. "They're using planetary guns against themselves." Arion's voice was cold. "I gave them a chance to evacuate." On the planet's surface, chaos erupted. Vangroth soldiers fled to the molten streets as factories exploded. Slave pens broke open, and thousands of alien captives escaped into tunnels. Some looked to the sky, expecting salvation. Instead, they saw a sun. The Astrius descended through the clouds, Starheart glowing like divine judgment. Arion gave the order, "Target the fortress core." The Soul Spear fired again. The Citadel melted. A shockwave tore across the planet, flattening fortress after fortress. Rivers of lava surged as the crust cracked. Karga Prime, once the heart of Vangroth power, fell in 40 minutes. On the bridge of the Astrius, a hush settled. Ren whispered, "We just crippled the Dominion." Arion didn't smile. He stared into the fire. "No," he said quietly. This was only one head of the serpent. He turned, tactical, searched the debris fields. "Drovok is not dead." Ren frowned. "What do you think he's doing?" Arion's expression hardened. "He's running. To the core worlds. To rally allies. To prepare something worse." He paused. "And we're going after him." While the Terran fleet celebrated the fall of Karga Prime, Arion's instinct screamed that the war was too easy. Siren 4. Council betrayal. Coordinated Vangroth strikes. A suspiciously quick regrouping. Someone powerful was moving the pieces. His suspicions were confirmed when Alara Voss returned to Earth with stolen Council data. She stormed into the war chamber beneath Terran headquarters, placing a crystalline datapod on the table. "Aaron, we have a traitor." Ren leaned forward. "Inside humanity?" "No," Alara said. inside the council, and they orchestrated the attack. She activated the holoprojector. A hologram appeared, a tall, elegant alien with silver horns and robes of shimmering blue. Archon Seraxis, the council's director of frontier security. Ren's eyes widened. He ordered the strike? No, Ilara said. He supplied the Vangroff fleet. Weaponry, intel, even slip lane access. Arion crossed his arms. Why? Ilara zoomed into encrypted files. One reason. Humanity grew too fast. Too strong. Our technology advances every decade outpaced the Council's predictions. They saw us as a threat. Ren whispered. They wanted to break us. Ilara nodded. And the Vangroff were their hammer. Arion stared at the hologram. A cold anger filled the room. They wanted us weakened. But instead, they triggered the Helios Protocol. Ilara turned to him. I have the location of Seraxis' covert base. He's hiding on the Council's shadow world, Ilithar Prime. Ren straightened. That world is forbidden for military entry. Arion smirked. Good thing we're not members anymore. He stood. Prepare the Astrius. We confront Seraxis. Ilithar Prime was unlike any world they'd seen. Cloaked in shimmering nebula dust, orbiting a dim star that barely cast light. Its surface gleamed with ancient structures and floating monoliths. The Astrius entered orbit silently. No defenses fired. No ships approached. No warnings. Rin shivered. This feels like a trap. It is, Arion said. But for whom? They descended in a landing craft. The surface was silent. Not a wind. Not a creature. Only massive stone towers that pulsed faintly with blue energy. Inside the central spire, they found Archon Seraxis waiting. Tall, calm, completely unarmed. As expected, Seraxis said. Humanity arrived sooner than predicted. Arion stepped forward. You supplied the Vangroff. You ordered Siren for his destruction. Seraxis tilted his head. Not destruction. Containment. Arion's fist clenched. You massacred civilians. Your species is evolving too quickly, Seraxis said. Had we not intervened, you would have surpassed the Council within decades. That cannot be allowed. Ren spat. So you tried to cripple us. Seraxis smiled. No, I tried to save the galaxy. Arion froze. What? Seraxis raised a hand. A hologram appeared, an image of the Astrius artificial star heart. This technology of yours, it is impossible. It violates known physics. It bends gravitational fields in ways that should collapse space-time. Rin bristled. We engineered stability. You engineered a singularity, Seraxis corrected. Your Helios reactors are not stars. They are proto-chains. Arion narrowed his eyes. Chains to what? Seraxis whispered. To something ancient, something sleeping, something humanity is accidentally waking. A chill filled the chamber. Every time your reactors pulse, Seraxis continued, they send a signal, a frequency, and something far beyond this galaxy is listening. Rin shook her head. You're lying. Seraxis' expression didn't change. I attacked Siren for to delay your expansion, to slow the deployment of the arcs, to prevent the awakening. Arion's pulse quickened. What is awakening? Seraxis looked at him with cold pity. A cosmic intelligence older than galaxies. A being your scientists would call an extinct myth. He paused. We call it the ecliptic entity. The chamber darkened. This war, Commander Vale, is not about borders, or politics, or species. He stared directly into Arion's eyes. It is about stopping you from summoning a god. Arion didn't immediately respond. His mind processed Arax's claims with cold precision. The Helios reactors, proto-chains, contacting something cosmic, a myth made real, for the first time since Siren, for he felt uncertainty. Ren broke the silence. You expect us to believe humanity, the underdog of the galaxy, is accidentally summoning a god? Seraxis nodded. Your species meddles with energy states it does not understand. Arion stepped closer. Then why not talk? Why not warn us? Why the genocide? Sirax's expression hardened. Because your government would not listen. Humans only respond to threat, pressure, fear. Arion's fist tightened. You don't know humanity at all. Siraxis raised a hand. You are wrong. I know humanity intimately. Too intimately. He touched the panel. The chamber floor lit up, showing star maps. Massive galactic sectors flickered red. These, Siraxis said, are dormant scars across a galaxy, evidence of past civilizations that reached too far. They created reactors similar to your Helios cores. They awakened what sleeps in the dark. Rin swallowed. And what happened to them? Siraxis whispered. They no longer exist. Arion felt his heartbeat thrum like a drum. Ilera Voss demanded, if this entity is real, why haven't we detected it? Siraxis gestured. The lights dimmed. A low hum filled the chamber. A hologram rose, vast, shapeless, cosmic in scale. A shadow stretching across interstellar void. Multiple eyes like dying suns. A mouth that resembled a collapsed star. Ren recoiled. What is that? Sirax's voice dropped. A remnant image. Faded, but growing clearer. Every Helios activation strengthens a bridge. The Astrius is already on the entity's sensing threshold. Arion felt a chill. So what does it want? Siraxis looked tired. To consume. To reshape reality. It has no morality. No purpose. It devours cosmic energy and resets worlds. Ilera exhaled. And we're feeding it with our reactors. Siraxis nodded. Yes. Arion closed his eyes. If Siraxis was telling the truth, humanity was sitting on the trigger of a cosmic apocalypse. Rin stepped beside Arion. Commander, what if he's right? Arion didn't answer. Siraxis stepped closer. You must shut down the Astrius. Destroy the Helios reactors. Cease all star-based weaponry. Arion opened his eyes. No. Siraxis blinked. Arion's voice was cold steel. You murdered our colonists. You armed the Vangroth. You started a war to manipulate us. You don't get to command humanity. Siraxis frowned. You are choosing extinction. No, Arion whispered. I'm choosing truth. He raised his comm. Astrius, prepare secure uplink. Download this chamber's star maps and all files. Siraxis' eyes widened. No, if you expose that data. Arion ignored him. Ren, escort Ilera. We're leaving. As they turned toward the exit, Siraxis called out, You cannot stop the entity. Arion paused. No, but I will understand it. Siraxis' voice broke into a shout. You will doom us all. Arion stepped through the threshold. Then unleash your council forces. Unleash your Vangroth puppets. Humanity will not kneel. The door slammed shut behind them. Back aboard the Astrius, Ilera dumped the stolen maps onto the command table. Rin stared at them. Look at the pattern. Arion nodded grimly. The entity isn't just waking. Rin whispered. It's moving. A deep tremor passed through the ship. Everyone froze. The artificial star heart flickered. Something vast brushed against its gravitational field. The AI spoke. Warning. Unidentified cosmic frequency detected. Source unknown. Rin whispered. It found us. Arion exhaled. Then we finally know the real enemy. He turned to the crew. And we will face it. The revelation of the entity forced Arion to do what no human leader had done before. Unite humanity under a single directive. The Army Defense Accord was broadcast to every Terran world. Every scientist, engineer, and fleet commander received the same message. We are not fighting the Vangroth. We are not fighting the Council. We are fighting something beyond stars. Within days, every Helios arc was recalled. Every fleet returned to core space. Humanity became a storm gathering at its center. Aboard the Astrius, the war chamber glowed with tactical projections. Rin gestured to the data Siraxis had provided. These scars, entire sectors wiped clean. No planets. No stars. Just void. Arion nodded. Then we know what the entity does. Ilara added, "We need to neutralize the Helios reactors before they draw the entity any closer." Arion shook his head. "No, we need to control the reactors." Ren stared. "You want to weaponize them?" Arion looked down at the star heart beneath the bridge. "It wants energy. We give it something else." Ilara caught on. "A trap." Arion smiled faintly. "A cage." In the Helios foundry beneath Mars, humanity's greatest minds gathered. They worked day and night to create a new reactor class, one that could reverse the entity's gravitational pull. A device that could collapse cosmic-scale energy into a localized prison. Its name, Project Black Sun, a man-made black hole, stabilized, directed, and detonated at precise coordinates. The risks were astronomical. If miscalculated by even 0.001%, the device would collapse the entire solar system. But there was no alternative. Arion stood before thousands of engineers. "You were chosen because humanity needs the impossible. The entity is coming, but we are not prey." He pointed upward. "We are the apex." Applause shook the facility. Meanwhile, the Astrius detected massive vanguard activity. Drovok was back, leading a coalition of council defectors and mercenary fleets. Hundreds of ships advanced toward Sol System. Rin paled. "They're coming for Earth." Arion nodded. "They think we're vulnerable. They think we're distracted." He turned. Battle stations. The largest fleet in human history formed above Earth, the sky filled with thousands of glowing engines, battleships, dreadnoughts, carriers, Helios arcs. The Vanguard coalition descended like a tidal wave. Drovok broadcast across all channels. "Humans, you stand alone. Surrender the Astrius, and we will spare your worlds." Arion responded, "Marshal Drovok, you made one mistake." "And what is that?" Drovok spat. Arion's eyes hardened. "You left us alive." The battle began. Humanity unleashed everything. Quantum lances, stellar torpedoes, gravity nets, railstorms. The sky burned with colors never seen before. The Astrius led the charge, Starheart blazing like a miniature sun. Drovok's forces were massive, but they weren't ready for humanity united. Within minutes, the first wave collapsed. But as the second wave surged forward, the entity's frequency spiked. The Starheart shuddered. Lights flickered. Alarms blared. Rin shouted, "Commander, the entity's influence is destabilizing the reactor." Arion clenched his fists. "It wants to reach through. It wants to use the reactor as a gateway." Ilara shouted, "We need to activate Black Sun now." Arion shook his head. "Not yet. The device isn't in position." "If we wait," Rin warned, "the entity could enter real space." Arion looked at Earth through the viewport. Billions of lives below. Humanity gathered above. He made his decision. "Prepare slip drive." We lured away. Rin stared at him. "Where?" Arion whispered, "To the galactic edge." He turned to the crew. "This is humanity's last stand. We don't run." He pointed into the dark void. "We draw the entity to us, and we end it." The Astrius tore through slip space, leaving the solar system behind. Behind it, the entity's frequency followed like a cosmic heartbeat. Deep, ancient, hungry. Human fleets pursued at a distance, carrying the Black Sun device. Every ship linked their reactor signatures to create a beacon strong enough to draw the entity across interstellar void. Ren watched the readings. "It's accelerating, faster than light. It's folding space." Ilara whispered, "It's not moving. It's arriving." Then space ahead of them bent. A shadow appeared. Not an object, not a creature, a cosmic phenomenon. A void where stars vanished. A shape larger than solar systems. A consciousness that pressed against their minds. Rin gasped, clutching her head. "I feel it." Arion is speaking. Arion steadied her. "No, it's consuming." The entity extended tendrils of gravitational distortion toward the Astria's reactor. "It's trying to merge," Ilara shouted. Arion nodded. "It wants to use our star heart as a bridge." Ren's voice cracked. Commander, if it merges, the galaxy is gone. Arion's eyes hardened. Then we don't let it. He opened the channel. Black Sun Fleet. Deploy trap. Across the void, thousands of human ships arranged themselves in a massive geometric pattern. Circles within circles, forming a lattice that glowed with gravitational harmonics. At its center, a device the size of a moon. Black Sun. Ren initiated the countdown. 15 seconds. The entity accelerated. Space warped violently. Its tendrils reached for the Astrius. Arion slammed his fist on the console. All power to Starheart. Maximum pulse. The artificial sun beneath them roared. Light surged outward, creating a gravitational shockwave that pushed the entity backward. Barely. Ren screamed. It's too strong. Arion's voice broke. Hold. The entity writhed. Space screamed. The Astrius hull cracked. Consoles burst into sparks. The bridge shook violently. Ren shouted. 5 seconds. The entity lunged. Elara grabbed Arion's arm. Arion, you need to eject the heart. His eyes widened. That would destroy the ship. Yes, she said softly, but it will keep the entity in place long enough for Black Sun to trigger. Arion looked at her. You'll die. So will everyone if you don't. The entity's tendrils pierced the hull. Ren cried out. It's inside. Arion made his choice. Eject the heart. The bridge fell silent. Elara whispered, for humanity. Arion pressed a command. The floor beneath them opened. The artificial star, the heart of the Astrius, detached and rose into space, blazing like a newborn sun. The entity lunged at it greedily. Ren screamed. Black Sun firing. The device detonated, not in explosion, but in collapse. A black sphere formed. Gravity multiplied. The entity shrieked in frequencies that fractured space. Its tendril snapped. Its vast form folded inward. Light bent. Stars warped. Reality shuddered. The entity was dragged into the singularity. Screaming, fighting, dissolving, and then silence. The black hole evaporated in a flash of white light. The Astrius drifted, crippled. Sparks fell. Alarms blared. Atmosphere leaked. Ren looked around the ruined bridge. We did it. Elara exhaled. The entity is gone. Arion stared at the void where the star heart once burned. We lost the Astrius, he said softly. Ren shook her head. We saved the galaxy. Arion finally allowed himself a breath. Prepare a distress beacon. Call the fleets. Elara smiled weakly. You know what humanity will say when they hear this? Arion raised an eyebrow. She whispered that we broke the galaxy and saved it. The beacons lit. Humanity's fleets emerged from slip space, surrounding the broken Astrius like guardians. For the first time since Siren, for the galaxy was quiet, peaceful, until Ren said softly, Commander, new readings. Arion turned. Ren's eyes widened. It's the entity. A fragment, a remnant, survived the collapse. Arion's jaw clenched. Ren whispered, What do we do? Arion looked into the void. We prepare. He stepped toward the viewport. This war is over, but the next one has already begun. Fade out.